Hello and welcome, I'm Cameron Walker and this is GBN Royal. Now, is this Catherine's busiest week since completing cancer treatment? Now, on Monday, the Princess of Wales unexpectedly joined her husband at London's Guildhall, surprising Holocaust survivors, commemorating 80 years since the liberation of the former Nazi death camp Auschwitz. Her Royal Highness reunited with two survivors she had photographed 5 years earlier, marking the 75th anniversary. Catherine hugged and held hands with them and said it was a great honour to attend the event, remembering the 6 million Jewish people murdered during the Holocaust. On Thursday, the Princess undertook not one, but 2 solo public engagements, her first visit to Wales since October 2023. 3 public engagements in the space of a week is something the Princess hasn't actually done for well over a year, suggesting that Her Royal Highness is continuing on the road to recovery. Although she announced earlier this month she is in remission, this week's schedule is still being considered a gradual return to full-time royal duties. I understand we shouldn't expect the Princess to maintain the same workload every week over the next few months, and it appears she is choosing engagements which are particularly important to her. It's no surprise, therefore, that her first engagement in Wales coincided with the announcement that she has become patron of Tŷ Hafan Children's Hospice. The well-being of children and their families is thought to be very close to the Princess's heart, and her first patronage she took on as a member of the royal family was actually for the East Anglia's Children's Hospice in 2012. To this day, it is understood she maintains a close relationship with that first hospice and is expected to build a similar relationship with Tŷ Hafan and the families it supports. The Children's Hospice previously had both King Charles and Diana, Princess of Wales, as its patrons. Next, has Prince William finally got his own back? Well, Prince William appeared to have got his own back at the British press this week during a playful moment where he was encouraged to spray journalists with lake water. Yep, you heard that right. In a moment of cheeky banter, he was only too happy to oblige, spraying a syringe of water in the direction of the cameras. "This is the best day of my life," he said, joking as he joined local school children by a lake during an engagement visiting Earthshot Prize finalists Naturemetrics.
A royal comeback that has captured hearts across the world. Princess Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has returned to public duties in what's being called her busiest week yet since undergoing cancer treatment. Poised, determined, and radiant, she's proving once again why she is the emotional centre of the modern monarchy. But behind the smiles, royal watchers wonder, is this a symbol of strength, or a brave after months of recovery and retreat from the public eye? Princess Kate's reappearance was both emotional and commanding. Her first engagements were carefully chosen, focused on children's health, early education, and mental well-being, the causes closest to her heart. Each appearance seemed to tell a quiet story of resilience, a woman reclaiming her purpose, one graceful step at a time. The past months have not been easy. Following her announcement that she was undergoing preventative cancer treatment, the world held its breath. Public concern mixed with media frenzy, as speculation about her condition and whereabouts grew. But this week, Catherine silenced the rumours with action and strength, demonstrating that her focus remains on service, not sympathy. Royal insiders note that every engagement this week carried deep symbolism. From visiting schools to supporting hospital programmes, Catherine's choices reflect her personal mission to use visibility as a force for good. Each handshake, every conversation, deliberate, meaningful, and deeply human.
Okay. That's good. And then we'll do one practice one, so it screws on a little bit in case there's any air.
Okay, we don't.
And then the question
Like
is, where are we going to squirt the water? Do you think, well...
I think we should all aim that way, that's a great idea.
So we need to, okay,
and you just literally squeeze it?
And just have it helps better if you have the palm of your hand on the end, that's it. Is everybody ready?
Ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, squirt.
Oh!
Yes!
Oh, nearly! So nearly! I have images of you guys having like some water balloon
Yeah,
fights.
it's so much fun. 3, go!
Go.
Yes!
Oh!
Brilliant. Good effort, everyone.
The British company uses cutting-edge environmental DNA technology to track biodiversity, and since being named as an Earthshot Prize finalist, Naturemetrics has secured $25 million in funding with backing from Earthshot's Launchpad investment platform to scale its technology worldwide and have an impact. The company has built an intelligence platform that transforms complicated biodiversity data into clear insights for businesses. So this means that companies in industries like construction, agriculture, and energy can actually see how their operations affect local ecosystems and, in theory, make smarter environmental decisions. Moving on now, and a curry fit for a king. Well, ever wondered how King Charles likes to take his curry? Well, never fear, I have the answer for you right now. His Majesty has travelled thousands of miles around the globe during his lifetime, experiencing different cuisines, but it was much closer to home this week that the King revealed the ideal level of spice. Welcoming newly elected MPs and members of the House of Lords to Buckingham Palace on Wednesday for a reception, the King told Deirdre Costigan, Labour MP for Ealing Southall, that he does not like his curry too strong. Miss Costigan chatted with King Charles about his love of curries, but revealed he doesn't particularly enjoy dishes that are too spicy. The MP for Ealing Southall told the Press Association, "So I said I'm from Ealing Southall, and straight away he was like, oh yes, we knew it was Little India, and he talked about his love of curries. And he also said, you've got a big Sikh community there, don't you? So I asked him to come to Ealing Southall and check out the curry. I hope he will. But he also recognised straight away I had an Irish accent. He said, you're Irish, and he said it would be great to get a state visit as well." Next, this is what we know about the latest royal premature birth. On Wednesday, Buckingham Palace announced Princess Beatrice had given birth to a new daughter, Athena Elizabeth Rose. I understand the 11th in line to the throne was not due until early spring, suggesting the latest addition to the royal family was born several weeks premature. In December, doctors advised the pregnant Princess Beatrice not to travel long distances, persuading her to change her Christmas plans. Alongside her immediate family, she spent Christmas with the King and extended royal family at Sandringham instead. On Wednesday, Buckingham Palace confirmed the second daughter of Princess Beatrice and Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi was born weighing just 4 pounds and 5 ounces. Born in Chelsea and Westminster Hospital on January 22nd, the royal couple waited until the baby was healthy enough to safely return home before making a public announcement.
This wasn't a mere return to work, it was a reaffirmation of her identity as both princess and mother. The public response was overwhelming. Crowds gathered, voices cheered, and the global press hailed her strength. Supporters see her as a beacon of hope, a royal who embodies grace under pressure. Yet, beneath the applause lies a quiet question. How much strength does it take to smile through recovery? How much courage hides behind composure? Palace aides have described this return as a positive sign of her recovery and one that reflects her readiness to gradually resume public life. Prince William has remained steadfastly by her side, balancing royal duties with his role as husband and father. Together, they've projected unity, the very image of modern royalty under fire. As Princess Kate closes her busiest week since her diagnosis, the world is left inspired. Her quiet strength speaks louder than any speech, her presence, a symbol of endurance and grace. Whether this marks the beginning of a full return or a cautious step forward, one thing is clear: the Princess of Wales remains the beating heart of Britain's royal spirit.
Edoardo posted on Instagram a massive thank you to all the wonderful staff at the hospital for their exceptional care and support. The King, Queen and wider royal family are said to be delighted by the happy news. And finally, the King has become the first British monarch to visit Auschwitz death camp. On Monday, the King became the first British monarch to visit the former Nazi death camp Auschwitz. 1.1 million people were murdered there during the Second World War, a vast majority were Jewish. His Majesty felt it was so important to attend a special commemorative event marking 80 years since the camp was liberated by the Soviet Red Army, alongside 56 survivors and other world leaders. Travelling to Auschwitz myself to cover the King's visit, I was struck by the sheer size and scale of the place. It was clear the site was once a well-organised, efficient industrial death machine. It appears to have struck the King too. He became visibly emotional when he laid a wreath at the so-called death wall, where the SS shot dead thousands of prisoners. He spent a good while staring at the wall in quiet reflection, having laid the wreath, which read "In Special Remembrance," written in his own hand. The King was deeply moved by the place and had spent the last 2 hours listening to harrowing testimony from survivors during the ceremony. Earlier in the day, the King visited the Jewish Community Centre in Krakow, which is a place I'm told exists due to inspiration from His Majesty. When Prince of Wales, the King visited Krakow in 2002 and was told how the Jewish community in the city was nearly wiped out by the Nazi regime in the 1940s. His Majesty felt the community needed a base to grow and encouraged the construction of the JCC, returning to officially open the building in 2008. He delivered a speech to the Jewish community in 2025. This is what he said.
To be in Poland on International Holocaust Remembrance Day, as we commemorate 80 years since the liberation of Auschwitz, is both a somber and indeed a sacred moment. It is a moment when we recall the 6 million Jews, old and young, who were systematically murdered, together with Sinti, Roma, disabled people, members of the LGBT community, political prisoners, and so many others upon whom the Nazis inflicted their violence and hatred. As the number of Holocaust survivors regrettably diminishes with the passage of time, the responsibility of remembrance rests far heavier on our shoulders and on those of generations yet unborn. Ladies and gentlemen, in a post-Holocaust world, projects such as this centre are how we recover our faith in humanity. They also show us there is much work still to be done if we are not just to remember the past, but to use it to inspire us to build a kinder and more compassionate world for future generations, a world of which we can be truly proud. And this remains the sacred task of us all. Thank you, Liz.
This is Cameron Walker. Feel free to leave a comment on any of the stories we've discussed today, and don't forget to subscribe to GBN Royal.